Hey there, guys. Sean Michael here from WinBeta, and welcome to episode 33 of the WinBeta podcast for the week of September 18th, 2015. With me is co-host Zach Bowden.
Hi. See, look, it automatically switched to me because Google Hangouts.
There you go. And this week we'll be talking about all sorts of stuff. Lots of big news this week. Not so many little stories, but lots of big stories. We have an official build for PCs, an official build for mobile. Got rumors about Lumia 550, Surface RT updates, major hardware announcements. We got all sorts of stuff, gaming polls, rapid fire. If you have an eagle eye, you'll probably see some sort of watermark that isn't normally there that probably says Google in bright, bold letters. Sorry, folks, we're running through a Google Hangout this week due to technical details. If you're joining us live, please join us in the comments section on winbeta.org/live. We're going to try to figure everything out. We're really sorry about the technical details. But according to the feedback that we're getting, everything seems to be working fine now. Let's go ahead and get started with the first story of the week. Official build for Windows 10 for PCs.
Absolutely. So Gabe, an hour before the podcast started,
How rude.
Do you know what I mean? He decided to release a build, which is kind of why the podcast was late, and then I'm going to blame it on the fact that the podcast failed as well. So this new build 10,547, includes a number of new features, some of which are largely welcomed. Many insiders who used the older preview builds from January will know that the start menu used to have 4 columns, but then they got rid of it for reasons unknown. In this build, the option is back. You can now enable 4 columns in settings. So if you like more tiles on your start screen, you can do so from there. There's also improvements to tablet mode. When in tablet mode, from task view, you can now snap apps to left and right, replace a previously snapped app with another, and swipe down to close an app, which was already there anyway, but the other 2 features were not, so that's pretty good. There were also many app updates. We've seen these all throughout the week already. We had updates to Mail and Calendar, which gave them a number of new UI updates, icon updates, a number of just overall updates to apps, which are looking pretty good. We've had other improvements, so you can now turn off the Windows background picture on the login screen because many people don't seem to like it. So in the settings app, you can do so from there. Object RTC and Microsoft Edge. This is a developer thing, so I know nothing about it. But this build now includes a preview of Object RTC and Microsoft Edge. The ORTC APIs enable real-time audio and video communications directly inside Microsoft Edge without the need to install any plugins. There's also a text input panel improvement. So the text input panel now expands as you write to provide more space in Latin languages, and a bunch of fixes. So they've fixed a lot of underlying issues which caused a critical error dialog. The notification icon in the Action Center should no longer light up even though there weren't any new notifications. That's a really annoying bug, which they have finally fixed. Battery flyout text is now fixed, and just a number of other fixes. Known issues, obviously known issues. You can check out the blog to see what they are. No major known issues, I don't believe. I'm looking at them now. I don't see anything here that would not want me to upgrade. But then again, I would upgrade it even if the build destroyed my PC. So
as evidenced by the fact that it's destroyed your PC.
Yeah, absolutely. So yes, that is a thing.
I think I don't want to say expansive update. Obviously, they're all kind of smaller now until Threshold 2, but there's some surprising numbers of features in this. I think they're adding nice things. I really like the new start menu support. It kind of bugs me. I have a big old PC. I got a monitor here, big and wide, second screen over there. And when I'm there in the start menu, you get the 2 wide and the 1 in these groups of 3, so crammed and asymmetrical. Very annoying. So I'm pretty excited that you can do the groups of 4 now. I hope that comes to the full thing and that everyone likes it, that sort of thing. So yeah, I don't know. I think we're all trying to run it. I think most of our live listeners are still trying to install it, as are you. But the change log's pretty promising, I think.
Yeah, it's definitely some good improvements. More improvements are on the way, though. Got to keep that in mind. This isn't the final feature set. There will be more improvements to Microsoft Edge and to other apps as well. So looking forward to that also.
Yeah, Edge, extensions, this sort of thing. I know. I'm surprised that there are, every time there's a preview build, sometimes like bug fixes and one of them was like they changed the title bars. It's like, no, it's like, okay, now it's starting to get more serious, and then revving up to the big ones that are coming later this year. So that's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
You know what I did for the first time this week on my everyday device?
What did you do?
I upgraded to the latest Windows 10 mobile preview. I had it on a Lumia 640, and I was using that as my preview one. But as that device is going to the beautiful miss that I am dating at the moment and have been for many years of happiness, she is getting that phone. I didn't want to seem like I was just moving on from girl to girl. It's like, no. Anyway, she's take that phone and use it as her daily driver, so I have to roll it back to Windows 8.1. So I did a factory reset on my Lumia 930 and then upgraded it to the latest Windows 10 mobile build. And honestly, I'm really impressed. It's running smooth. It's working great. There are very few bugs. One of the more notable bugs that Cortana can't work because of a language error on mine. Other people having different amounts of luck on different devices. But for me, I felt like, I'm part of this club now. I jumped in and have a daily driver preview build phone. I feel so alive, so WinBeta.
You are having a better experience than me. I wasn't having too good of an experience, but I seem to be okay now, so that's good news.
So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think it's pretty good. There are quite a few changes, I suppose. This was your story, but let me see if I can open it because you're dealing with your things.
Oh, my story, absolutely. I can talk about it off the top of my head. So
Go nuts.
Earlier today, I wrote a story about the upcoming Lumia handsets and the software that will ship on them. Many people have been asking me ever since I wrote about the November date for Threshold 2. If Windows 10 Mobile is launching with Threshold 2, but the new handsets are supposedly launching in October, how does that work considering Threshold 2 isn't ready until November? Well, I've spoken to a number. I've actually had this information for a while now. I've been sitting on it for a long time, and I've been asking questions about it here and there. And Mary Jo Foley brought it up on her podcast. And I thought, well, I mean, I have information about it. I might as well post about it here. So I posted about it, and pretty much what Microsoft is planning to do is ship Windows 10, the Windows 10 original RTM on the new Lumia handset. So that's Threshold 1, TH1, build 10240, I believe. Internally, Microsoft is currently patching build 10240. They've been patching it ever since it was compiled with Delta patches and stuff. So technical people will know build 10240. The RTM is .10240.16384. And then with a new patch, that 16384 number increases as it's obviously a new patch, and new patches will increase that Delta build number. The same is happening on mobile. So 10240.165 whatever is what will be shipped on Windows 10, the new Windows 10 flagships. But that's only because of Threshold 2 not really being ready. And even if many people have said to me, but what if they're shipped? Well, I highly doubt they'll ship the devices in October because Microsoft is Microsoft, and they'll probably announce in October and ship in November. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know their shipping plans. But even if that were true, that is still not enough time to get devices preloaded with Threshold 2. But in October, Microsoft will be mass producing these new phones, and they will be preloading whatever they've got. And what they've been working on for the last several weeks to a couple months now, however long Windows 10 has been out, is build 10240 for mobile devices. And I've heard from many people that these builds are fine. They're not buggy, because they've been patched. They have been patched and patched and patched. Microsoft has been doing bug fix after bug fix quietly in the background whilst they're working on Threshold 2. So when these devices do come out, they will have Threshold 1, build 10240 for a short amount of time. And then when Threshold 2 launches, I believe they should be able to update to that. Whether carriers will be involved is another story for another time. I've heard Microsoft may be trying to bypass that, but I don't think it's possible in the way I've heard.
So wait, let me get this straight, Zach. They have two separate things basically running. They have one version of Windows 10 Mobile ready basically only for the Lumia 950 and 950 XL. and then another version of Windows 10 Mobile moving along on its own to roll out to everyone else on every other device in the world?
Pretty much, but the build 10.240, it's not like although they're developing them together, but it's kind of like how it's working now with the desktop preview build. The majority of the world is on build 10.240, and Microsoft is patching that build every so often with new bug fixes and so on. But at the same time, insiders have these new Threshold 2 builds, and they're working towards a Threshold 2 RTM. When Threshold 2 RTMs, that will be released as an update for the Windows 10 RTM, which is build 10.240, and then that build will be upgraded to the newer Threshold 2 build. That's just how it works. But the reason this is confusing to many people is because Microsoft didn't announce an RTM for Windows 10 Mobile, but considering the code bases are pretty much the same and all that other good stuff, the build 10.240 is technically also an RTM build for mobile. The RTM build for mobile, build 10.240 for mobile, doesn't have a time bomb. It is tuned to the stable app updates channel in the store. So if you're running build 10.240 on the desktop, you'll know that you can't get the new awesome Mail app update because it's currently only available to insiders. On Windows 10 Mobile, build 10.240, that would be the same. You would be currently running the same app on the desktop, build 10.240, instead of the insiders because it's running the stable app channel. It also has support, and like I said, Microsoft has also been issuing bug fixes to it for a few weeks now because they need to get it out to the new Lumia devices.
I still think this is kind of weird. Like, I get what you're saying, and you're explaining it very clearly, even though it's somewhat complicated, and I appreciate that. But couldn't they just take the people that were working on this build that's only going to go on 2 phones and just have them work on the full one and then finish it like 3 weeks earlier? Because Threshold 1 is, they're going to announce, we get to this later. There's an October 6th event where they're going to announce like 1 billion things of hardware, and everyone's going to freak out and our website's going to crash of busyness. And 2 of those devices are going to be the 950 and 950 XL. Well, that's on October 6th. That'll probably take a few days to ship. So you're looking at like October 10th. That's a Saturday. It's a day that we've heard. And then they're going to have Threshold 2 come out in November. So they basically had people work on something that's only going to be running for 3 weeks on 2 devices.
Well, here's the thing. The build 10.240 was done ages ago, obviously. When build 10.240 was compiled, it was June or early July.
Why don't I have it now, Zach?
Because it wasn't great. And they've been.
And then so they're going to put a not great operating system on a brand new phone.
But they've been updating it in the background for a long time now. It's patches and bug fixes. That's all. Build 10.240 was pretty much finished. Windows 10 Mobile has been feature complete for a while. Build 10.240 is technically a feature complete build, but considering all the app updates are coming from the store, you've got to remember that the app updates are not. That the apps aren't baked into the operating system. They are not build dependent, really. So when Microsoft compiles a build, that build can be compiled, but it can still be pre-installed with apps that are like 3 months old. And then when the build installs, those apps get updated to a newer version, which are more stable. This is pretty much the same. With this build 10.240, the apps that are installed on the device will be of a stable branch. They will be the stable apps. And the platform itself, build 10.240, is pretty much stable. Like I said, they've been working on bug fixes over the last few weeks. So the build that is pre-installed will be a stable device.
All right. I concede. I think it's a little weird because there's this 3 week, but I know what you're saying. I think Microsoft, they probably committed themselves to a date and then kind of had themselves boxed in a corner. And they didn't really have a way out of it. So they're going to do this.
Yeah, I just don't see why they don't wait until November to release the devices.
I think that would be much better.
Sorry, I guess it would be December because it does take a while to preload all this stuff.
I guess. Well, in any event, they're going to do that. Whatever. I jumped the gun earlier. Sorry about that. So while they've been working on this RTM secret build that has actually been around for months and being patched and bug fixed, they're also simultaneously working on Windows 10 mobile builds that are new and feature-filled and that sort of thing, a little independently. I jumped the gun on that. Sorry about that, but we did have one this week. Windows 10 Mobile 10,536, right?
Yes, .1004. You've got to remember the dots.
You're going to have .1003, but then it didn't work out because of a fix that would have prevented you from upgrading to future builds.
So yeah, which is weird because some insiders received that update. Microsoft
like 200.
200 insiders. Microsoft pulled that update at the last minute, and some insiders were already scanned in to receive it.
So cuts the red button, but didn't press it, but somehow it still sent out a few. Yeah,
so some insiders got it, and they couldn't update, unfortunately, to the point of a new update. So build 10,536.10.10.04, I guess, launched and has a number of fixes, a lot faster. It was mainly a stability build. It made the operating system faster and more stable, which is fantastic. But there's still a few more things to come, I believe. Build 10,536 is definitely not the newest build. There are newer builds being tested internally right now. So a lot of good things to look forward to. What was new in this build? Just other than the stability stuff, was there anything?
They fixed mobile hotspots.
Yeah, it was a bug fix build, pretty much.
Yeah, it was mostly a bug fix build, to be honest. Feature stuff, I'm looking at the list now. Yeah, pinch and zoom work is their. Yeah, these are all just kind of fixes. Loading screens working better. It's noticeably better for me. Like right. Honestly, I'm using it as a daily phone, and on Windows 8.1 I was running a bit buggy, so I did a factory reset and then did this. This is running better than my old because it was going a little buggy.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess there's that. Now you've downloaded it, I assume as well, at least on one device. How is it running for you?
It's okay. It's okay. I mean, I still wouldn't call it an RTM quality build, but that's okay, I think.
Yeah, well, I guess we'll have to deal with that. So yeah, look forward to that. Well, other than all this other build stuff, we also have some hardware-related rumors. So there are rumors flying around about a Lumia 550. Let me just say this. Essentially, looks, I don't know, but this basically would replace the 640 if it's true. I mean, these rumors are from pretty verified sources, so I'm just going to trust that it's pretty much fact. It's basically going to replace the 640, but it's going to be in the 500 range, which is not surprising because obviously features that were new when the 640 came out are now a little old school, so putting them on a lower end device makes a little more sense. So this is code named. I have no idea how to pronounce this, so I'm going to go with Samaya, make it Samoan. Why not? In any event, put in a few apostrophes, make it Polynesian, Samoan, Tongan, whatever. All right, here we go. So some of the specs that we have: 4.7-inch display, 8 gigabytes storage, 1.1 gigahertz Snapdragon 210 processor on a gigabyte of RAM, which is pretty much, I think, the minimum that you can even run Windows 10 Mobile on, or at least that's what I've heard. But in any event, there might be, and this would be like a big selfie thing, possibly a front-facing flash. So though that camera would only be 2 megapixels with the back being 5.
A front-facing flash.
What was that?
Did you say a front-facing flash?
That's some of the rumors.
Interesting. Like
an LED thing that would flash, so you could take selfies with a flash. So those are most of the. You can read the rest of them there, but that's most of it there. We don't know when they're going to announce this. They have a major event on October 6th, but most people think that that's going to be mostly for kind of the major hardware, like the 950 and 950 XL, as well as other non-phone hardware. So I don't know when they would announce this or when it would be available. Obviously, like this isn't officially announced or whatever. Some people in the comments are pointing out that it wouldn't replace.
Yeah, I agree with them. I can't see this low end. I'd call this a very low end device.
Yeah, after reading the specs, I guess you're probably right.
Yeah, it's a low end device compared to the 640, which I would argue is a mid ranger.
I guess it replaces the 540 then, which isn't that old.
But nobody knows about it. I mean, I didn't. The 540, is that a thing? I didn't even know.
Well, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. But there you go. I had read people saying that it's basically to replace, but apparently that's wrong. So.
I mean, you just read the rumor. The rumor's a rumor, right?
That's true, I suppose. So yeah, there's that. I don't think this is earth shattering. I mean, honestly, at this point, I've said this before, and they have. Microsoft could make out something that ran as well as like an iPhone or a Galaxy, whatever, and charge like $200 less. And I don't think people would buy it right now. So it's cool that there's new stuff. Front-facing flash is like, ooh, that's nice. No one's going to buy it. Like, no offense. I just don't see it being that popular.
I mean, emerging markets probably will be. I mean, all the cheap low-end devices are in
emerging markets love their front-facing selfie flashes.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure if that's an accurate rumor.
Is that not accurate? I mean, this is one rumor. You have your whatever. I don't know.
Yeah,
you read.
I'm not entirely sure. We'll see. October 6th.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know if it'll be announced then either. So whatever.
I'm pretty sure it would be. Why wouldn't it be? It's the last event of the year for Microsoft. Like, why would they wait till next year?
I could definitely see it being like a warm up. In fact, they might do a little teaser, be like, "We'd like to announce a brand new phone running Windows 10 Mobile," and he breaks out, and you're like, "What's that?" And you're like, "Is this the Lumia 950 minus?" No, it's the Lumia 550. Yay!
So, Microsoft.
So yeah, I guess there's that. You've used low-end devices more than I have. I've only used mid-range. How do they usually? Do you think this would run well enough that people would actually buy it if they used?
I've used the 435 on Windows 8.1, arguably, right. But it works great. It just works. It's really nice. I enjoy every time I have to use the 435. I enjoy the experience, which is interesting considering I am a big flagship guy, being that I can only usually buy a flagship. But the low-end devices aren't bad.
Yeah, I mean, you've said in the past that Windows is kind of optimized for low, and then they just run it on the high. So it's cool that the better specs they get, the better it is.
Yeah, but with Windows 10, I feel like that might change.
You think so?
Yeah.
That'd be too bad. I don't want Windows 10 to only run smoothly if you have a high-end device.
No, me neither.
No. Anyway, you want to move on to other stuff that people care about way too much?
Absolutely.
There was an update this week.
There was an update this week, and it kind of sprung out on us because Microsoft didn't even announce it. It just appeared. But Windows RT 8.1 Update 3. I told you so. That's what I'm calling the update.
Didn't you announce this? We posted about this before Microsoft did, right?
I mean, I wrote about the update.
No, I mean the official release. Like,
I don't think
people were using it, and we had a post like that night, and I don't think the details came out till later.
I don't even think they've said anything still.
Really?
I don't think so.
Kind of sad.
Yeah, but I mean, only 5 people care. But look, I wrote about this months ago, and I'm just saying, because I got a lot of hate for this. I wrote about the start menu and stuff, and people were like, "How dare you write this? Your source is wrong. You're wrong. Go away." I'm right. I'm right, and I'm rubbing it in your faces. Yeah, so the start menu's back, which is great. It's the direct UI start menu, which is what I said months ago from Windows 8.1. For Windows 8.1, it has the tiles on one side, obviously the app list on the other. Looks like the start menu from the early Windows 10 technical preview builds. There was also supposed to be changes to the lock screen, but I don't think they appeared, so that's very interesting. So profile icons are now circular, kind of like on Windows 10, and that's it. That's all that's new.
That's all you got, folks.
The charms bar's still there.
Thanks for coming.
Yep, that's it. That's your update. Have fun with that. We'll see you on the Surface 3.
You want a real RT device? Go get an iPad Pro. So, yeah, that's kind of boring, but that's all we get. But we have more things to look forward to on the hardware side, at least. Honestly, it's kind of, I guess this is news. Like, we don't need to go over everything in it. The news that's official is there is going to be a press event on October 6th. We got an invite. People I've talked to, I know some, invites are going around for October 6th in New York. I can't be there. I'm depressed. I'd love to go to one of these events. One of us, I guess, will be there. I don't know, maybe.
Me, I'm going. No.
You're gonna drop like 600 pounds just to fly to New York.
Yeah, I'm just not happening.
Let's go to this event. In any event, so obviously we all are guessing what's going to be what's going to be announced. But the general consensus among people that love to count rumors and all that sort of thing is that we are going to get a Surface Pro 4 announcement. There are rumors out there that the Surface Pro 4 is going to come in 2 sizes, the 12-inch and 14-inch models. One of those I've heard is going to have up to 1 terabyte memory as an option, which is wonderful. Let's see here. New Skylake stuff. We're going to have the Lumia flagships announced. I haven't heard anyone say the 550 will be announced, but as you pointed out, Zach, I don't know when else they would announce that. So maybe that'll be a warm-up, like UFC, like one of the warm-up fights or whatever. We've already gone through the specs of the 950, 950 XL, and the Microsoft Band 2, which, depending on who you ask, will or won't run Windows 10 IoT, because some people say it's definitely gonna, or they've heard it will, and other people say it's not. So I have no idea, but I guess it'll be thinner, and it'll exist, and it'll be a Band 2 And I've heard curved screen is a rumor that's going around and that sort of thing. So
I just want it to be thinner.
I want thinner battery life. It's like every piece of technology. You want it to be really thin but last for eternity.
I don't even want battery life. Battery life's fine. Just make it thinner.
It is huge. I mean, it's huge.
The screen can be the operating system can be the same.
How about this one?
Just
Don't
make it
the
thinner.
screen out of wet tissue paper.
Good idea.
Like that thing, like screen protectors came with it basically because it was so fragile.
I don't even wear mine no more. It's just sort of dead.
Well, you can send it here.
Would you like it? I can absolutely send it to you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Sweet. I'm just up the road. Yeah. Well,
I'll walk it to your house.
I want to test it out and then see if I want to get the band too. So yeah, if you're not using it, whatever.
Yeah, we'll see.
Sweet. we'll see.
Well, I'll have to talk to you about it, obviously. So
faithful last words.
Unless you want to tell me where you live right now.
Yeah, no, that's okay. I posted some. I just moved into this new flat, and I posted some photos on Facebook of like my new flat, just moving in or whatever. Oh, look, the kitchen looks nice, whatever. And then I realized that the picture of like this is my new flat from the outside had my address like smack dab in the middle of it, and I was like, oh. I should probably take that down.
Yeah.
People find my Facebook. Like we have
more often than not, I always like put information in a video that shouldn't be there. Like I've left phone numbers in videos. I've left like in one of the videos which hasn't been taken down, and I shouldn't mention this, but it's like it's not my address, but it's like surrounding my address. So like the surrounding areas. I don't think you'd ever find where that video is, but it is there. It's very like discreet there. But I've had my phone number in a video. I've had address. I've had people's names, obviously, which come up quite often. It's just terrible. Gotta be careful. You
gotta be careful. Some people make really dumb mistakes online. I've seen a photo. It was on Twitter. Someone posted like a picture like, just got a new credit card. And then people were like, what's the code on the back? And she's like, the code on the back's like blah, blah, blah. Why do people keep asking? And it's like, what? Like, why would you do this?
Some people just don't know.
See, but it's easy to make mistakes. But you take a screenshot and your Skype contacts in the upper right-hand corner or something like that. You got to be careful with that sort of thing. Take out someone else's phone number or whatever. So, yeah, I wish I could go to that event. I think we're going to be swarming around on that event. Is there a device you're most excited? You want the flagship. You'll probably get one this Christmas, yeah?
Yeah, I'll get one before Christmas, hopefully, if they start selling. I will buy it the second it's available. The 950 XL is what I'm after.
With the pen, that's the room.
With the pen.
Now, is that the same pen?
It's a what pen?
Could you use your Surface 3's pen on that?
I think so.
Because they bought the technology, so that'd be nice. Yeah. Anyway, so there's that new hardware, etc. I guess moving on, we got other new stuff. Well, kind of. You got an invite this week from Microsoft about the Xbox, right?
Oh yes.
Were you one of the people who actually got an invite?
I absolutely did get an invite.
Because not everybody gets one, and then everybody that gets an invite doesn't even get to do it.
No, yeah. I haven't received the update yet, but I did receive an invite. And the invite says, enroll in the Windows 10 Xbox One preview. The update started rolling out today. I'm echoing now, Sean.
What was that?
I'm just echoing now on your audio. Just letting you know. Yes, so that update rolled out, or that update is rolling out. I'm yet to check if I actually have it. It's probably why I couldn't stream, because my Xbox was downloading it. But yeah, it's coming, and the first preview users get to try it out today. And when I get my hands on it, I will absolutely be doing some kind of video. So it will be fun. And Sean is doing something on his surface. Yes, there he is. The camera kept cutting to your elbow.
I'm sorry, what was that?
The camera kept cutting to you. We could see your elbow.
I wasn't doing anything.
Yeah, you could hear you moving your thing.
Whatever.
Yeah, but yeah, no, that's pretty much it for the Xbox thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there was some people were upset. I can't switch because we're on Google Hangouts. I have no idea how to fix the echo. Sorry. I have my headphones, but they're not doing anything.
That's fine.
Some people were upset that they're sending out invites, but then you're not actually able to do it. Like,
It's not that. I don't think it was that. I think it was because the update hadn't even started rolling out yet, and now it has. I guess by rolling out, they literally mean rolling. It's got to roll to its destination, so it's going to roll over you shortly when it gets to the bottom of the hill.
I guess. Yeah, I don't know. I know some people were upset. There was a big fight about and I was just, to me, I just wanted to see the new experience. It looks pretty exciting. It looks more streamlined. Looks nice. There was a video just posted on, I think, today about the new experience. So I'm really excited for it. I have to get an Xbox One first.
Yeah. You need to have an Xbox One before you can be in the preview, Sean.
What was that?
You need to have an Xbox One before you can be in the preview, Sean.
I also have nowhere near enough feedback to actually use.
To be fair, neither do I. I'm like level 4.
Oh, really? I don't know how the leveling system works. So
neither do I. But there you go.
So, one of the commenters, because I got up to get my headphones, which is now an empty errand because they're not working. Hopefully, Zach doesn't echo. Someone says, "Is Sean dancing?" And then someone said, "Sean is always dancing."
Sean is always dancing.
I am pretty jovial, so there you go. Yeah. So you got the Xbox One preview, and that's it for the gaming news this week. Oh, I'm sorry that we're a little discombobulated, folks. Between jumping between two different mediums for broadcasting, being really late, and all of that other stuff, I have no gauge of where we are in terms of length right now. I've messed up the order of the story.
Did you really?
Remember earlier when I tried to talk about the build and you were like, "Oh yeah, so my story."
Oh, I didn't even notice. It's
not about what Sean's talking about. It's actually about this threshold thing, and I'm like, "Oh, okay." So let me get to my wheelhouse here. Something I am good at. We had a poll this week.
As per every week.
As we do every week. And people voted in that poll, but not as many as before. Turns out people like arguing about iOS and Android. But when it comes to apps, they're whatever. In any event. So this week, we actually have a monumentous occasion. We have our very first tie in a WinBeta poll for the podcast. It's literally a tie, equal percent, 35 and 35%. But we'll get into the results in a sec. So the question was, how do you want the app gap to close? I think specifically, what type of apps do you want to see most on Windows? And so the choices were Google apps, banking apps, social media apps such as Snapchat and Pinterest, which are not on Windows at this point. And then also I added the last category, which I thought was kind of a blanket, whatever. I called it business and service apps, which is kind of like you go to a concert venue and they have like an app for like the concert, or you have, I don't know, a restaurant nearby and they have a reward, Starbucks rewards, that sort of thing. But it's also little stuff like Pokemon Go. There's no way that's ever going to come to Windows because it's run by Nintendo. The BB-8, like droids and drones and flying things, those usually don't get apps on Windows either. So that kind of app. Before we get to the results, Zach, what about you? How do you want the app gap to close? What's the one area you want most?
It has to be social.
You think so?
Social comes first, yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of split. I actually, on this one, I don't always do this, but I actually did like a little argument for like every option, just paragraph on each, kind of the situation that they're in. And in it, I basically said, you might not personally use Snapchat, but it hurts the platform that there isn't Snapchat.
Yes.
Like I'm never going to use it. I don't want to use it. I don't care to use it. If it came out today, I would probably download it just to take a picture for a feature image of an article. I honestly don't have any interest in that, but it's really popular. I mean, everyone seems to be using Snapchat, and the fact that it's not is going to prevent people from joining the platform and get other people to leave it, because eventually they'll say, oh, it's been 8 months and I thought I could live without it, but I just need to see those videos and pay 99 cents to get 3 replays, and I just can't live without Snapchat. But it's also Pinterest. It's Facebook, the official app doesn't exist. It's actually made by Microsoft. I agree with you. My choice in terms of helping the platform would be social. I think social media apps not being on there is the number one reason people don't join. I think Another reason is those little things. You know, every ad you see, it's like, look at this new droid, like the BB-8 little robot droid from. Isn't that controlled by an app? I bet you that's not on Windows, is it?
It absolutely isn't.
Yeah, and so that's what I mean. It's like every commercial you see, check out this new product. Yeah, except you guys over there. I would think that's a big thing too. So me personally, that's what I chose. But the actual results of the poll were a little different. Google Apps, number one. Social media apps also number one, both tied at 35%. People really like their Google Apps.
You know what? I'm not surprised by that, to be fair.
I was a little surprised that it won. I thought it might, you know, I don't have an issue with Bing Maps. You know, YouTube, I guess, you know, if you use a third party, then there are good ones. Some people don't use third party apps. I don't know, man. Like, what Google apps are people dying to use that they can't? Is it just YouTube?
Yeah, I would. YouTube, Gmail.
Google Wallet, I guess, but they're never going to put that on Windows.
The two would be good, YouTube and Gmail. They would be the two.
Why would I need a Gmail client?
Because the Outlook client sucks.
Does it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Many people are having issues. I mean, if you're, I mean, even then, using an Outlook account with the Outlook app is somewhat problematic right now. But it's better if you're using Outlook.
I don't know. I mean, I use Outlook. It seems to work fine, but I don't know. Other people, I guess, it doesn't work fine. So there you go.
You know what we should do? We should do the podcast. We should do the poll live on the podcast, like issue it live.
Well, I do it on the week's news though. Like usually, I know the last two have been just like general questions, but generally it's based on like, hey, a new service came. Which flagship do you want the most? They both got announced today.
Yeah, but because doesn't Straw do? Sorry, I'm yawning. God damn it! Doesn't Straw do like live updates now, so you can see the votes coming live?
Ooh, that's true. We could do one at the very beginning and then get just our live listeners.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm allowed to do all the polls I want. You know what? I can do a poll on Wednesday, and I can do a poll at the beginning of the podcast. And you know what, Zach? I can do a poll at the end of the podcast just for the after party about what pizza I should order.
You know what? Good idea.
I do that next week.
You know, I should actually use Straw for more things. I always have things to ask.
Straw is nice. You know, I'll admit that. I like Ben. He was on the show, friend of the show, really nice guy. Also very good on camera, which is nice. But man, Straw is so heavily biased towards Windows. It's like you see any question, it's like, what do you want? Galaxy, iPhone 6 Plus, or Lumia? Everyone picks Lumia. I think you could say, do you want a Lumia 435 or an iPhone 6 Plus? And people would say, I want the 435. It's like everything that's micro, but it's really good for like what we do with it, and it's really easy to vote and that sort of thing. But it is comedic to see like every question about Microsoft is just blatantly favoring Windows.
Yeah, no, it is pretty funny, and it's nice because not many places are like that.
It's true. Oh, Discuss is pretty friendly towards Windows, right?
I wouldn't say friendly. Just they are there.
Does Discuss have apps on every platform?
They have one on Windows Phone. I don't know if they have one. I don't think they've got a desktop app.
Discuss. Somebody, let me know. I don't have an iPhone. I heard somewhere that it was only on Windows Phone, but I don't know if that's true or not.
No, I would find that hard to believe.
I would find that hard to believe too, because I've seen it on so many different websites.
Yeah,
I'll do a poll for the podcast at the after party when we're like doing wrap up and stuff. But for now, we gotta grind through this. Oh, Zach, do you want to try rapid fire a little differently this week?
How are we going to do it?
Respond to the things I'm saying?
Sure.
All right, so I got stories this week. We're going to crank through them as quickly as we can. I'm going to say what the story is. Zach's going to give his 2 cents or pence, depending on your country of origin and residency. And then we're going to move on. All right, ready, Zach?
Yes.
Do we put a timer on the clock? Imaginary timer on the clock. All right. Zune is dead. Zune Music passes are being converted to Groove Music passes. What do you think?
Zune was already dead.
All right. Rudy, is it Hune?
Yes.
He's going to Dropbox. He's going to work on Windows 10 stuff. He was already working on Dropbox, but now he's got a new job and a new office there. What do you think?
Good for him. Is he going to be continuing to update his other apps?
He is. In fact, he even said on Twitter, he said, I've already been doing official ones during the day, unofficial at night. So now he's going to do the same schedule. There you go.
Fair
All
enough.
right. Dark theme now available in the preview versions of Outlook and calendars.
Sexy as hell.
Yeah. They're rolling out the dark theme.
No, the UI update is really, really nice. It is astonishingly nice. And it makes me very excited to see what they're doing with other apps and the system as a whole.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Cortana in the car prototype that would have a projector pop up onto your windshield and give you directions of where to go and is activated by Cortana is in a prototype right now, and Microsoft wants to work on it with Taiwanese partners.
I don't have a car.
All right. Last one. Microsoft Edge, in addition to getting extension support eventually, because they had that Q&A on Twitter this week, is also coming to the Xbox One.
I guess that's with the Windows 10 update.
I guess.
I'm not surprised by this because it already has Internet Explorer.
Will you ever use Edge on an Xbox One?
I don't use the browser on the Xbox One. Very rarely do I use it.
I guess, let me see here. Could you watch this very podcast on an Xbox One?
Yes, from the YouTube app.
Oh, you wouldn't have. Okay, there you go. So you wouldn't need a browser for that.
No, you wouldn't.
Are they going to have they have keyboard and mouse support? So like people could use it like an actual browser, like with the keyboard and mouse.
Yeah, that is coming. They have said that they're.
So there you go. Yeah, this is what I mean. They need to put Word and Office
They
on
should
Xbox One, and then you could sell it to college kids for less than a PC. You get gaming, you get Office, you get browsing, all in the Xbox One. Perfect. Universal apps, Fitbit, right on there.
They should have Continuum for Xbox One.
They should. This is what I mean. It's not that much. I mean, it's a lot of money, but if you compare it to a computer, particularly a computer the same size, because the Xbox One is approximately the size of this bed. So if you got a computer the same physical dimensions, not price range, because we have to help our argument here. The Xbox One actually could, if you could use Word for college stuff and then upload it through a browser, I could see some people only getting an Xbox One and trying to do it. So there you go.
Yeah.
All right, so that's rapid fire for this week. Anything I forgot?
I don't think so, and I think that's the entire podcast.
What was that?
I think that's the entire podcast for this week.
There you go. I have no idea. I think that was approximately 50 minutes. I really can't tell you. If it comes out to 25, I'm sorry.
Well, it's not our fault. Guys, listen, I've fixed the issues for next week. I promise, I hope. I'm building a new PC this weekend. If all goes to plan, I should have a powerful PC by Monday.
I just have this image of like in all the movies and TV shows, there's like a father and his wife's pregnant and it's like 3 a.m. and he's trying to put a crib together and it's just like collapsing on itself and he has like paint all over him from trying to paint the room. And it's just an absolute mess.
You know what?
That's my image of you like tomorrow night. And you're like, I have to get this working for the podcast.
Yeah, it's got to be. I mean, I've been like this for ages. I've been doing all sorts to the one I'm using now. And like the other day, it's like it's aging now. It's hitting that point because I turned it on the other day, and I've had it on and it kind of groaned. It went, what are you doing? So I kicked it a little bit and it stopped. But it's like it's getting there, and I think it's time for an upgrade. So I am getting a new powerful Core i7 Skylake processor with good stuff inside it. So
and you know what? I bet you XSplit uses at least 40%.
I hope to the Lord. I hope that XSplit runs on it for starters, because if it doesn't, I'm going to throw it out a window.
Zach, you need to get someone to take a photo of you putting this PC together. Like, can you live tweet this over the weekend?
I absolutely might.
Yeah, but absolutely might. What is this? You can have a Microsoft band? Maybe. I absolutely might.
You could have the band. I just didn't want to talk about it over the air. Reveal your super secret location.
Yes, my super secret location that I almost shared on Facebook. All right. In any event, I guess it's time to wrap up. This has been the WinBeta podcast, episode 33. Ooh, look at that. Double number. 33.
Wait. 33. We've been doing this over half a year.
Yeah, that's true. Well, we started, like February, you want to say?
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
It's been over half a year forever.
It's been a long time. Yep. Our whole lives, this podcast.
And I haven't missed a single episode yet.
What was that?
I haven't missed a single episode yet.
That's true. You're the only person that's been on every. I missed one.
Yes.
And you and I were both on the Lost episode. So you know I've actually been on, and then the Lost intro to this episode.
Yes.
So you know I've been in many little WinBeta extras.
Indeed.
Yeah, there you go. And every after party. In any event. All right, so this has been the WinBeta podcast for the week of September 18th, 2015. As always, I am one of your hosts, Sean Michael. You can find me on Twitter at Sean_Michael_UK. And you can find Zach on Twitter at
ZachB_.
There you go. And you can find winbeta.org on Twitter at winbeta.org. And you also find us on Google+, which you might have to do a lot more of if we have to do more Google Hangouts. And we're also on a bunch of other social media stuff. And you can always find the latest and greatest Windows news and Microsoft-related news on winbeta.org, including all sorts of exclusives. So make sure to like, subscribe, RSS feeds, all that sort of stuff. All right, thanks a lot, guys. We will see you on the next one.